Hi, I'm Sar, and I'm graduating UC Berkeley in 1 month. I didn't do internships this summer to work on inventing better devices. Tweet about my prototype, blew up. Video about it, blew up. Instagram reel about it, blew up. See, I really find this thing annoying sometimes. All the screen time apps and stuff just don't work for me. And so often I just want to switch this off and put it away. But then I don't have access to all these useful things like music, timers, my calendar. So it's simple. I took all of that stuff I missed that was actually useful and put it into this fun, distraction-free package, and I made it cute. I think our generation needs this. We literally do not know what the state of being called being offline is. With this guy, I can capture ideas, capture images, set timers, remember stuff, all without the distraction of my phone. Time to start this thing. I've been filling out incorporation forms and... Okay, I'm a bit stressed to do this. It's been a while since I made my last video, so I kind of want to give a recap of what's been going on, like what happened and what is the plan moving forward. It has been a very involved 3 months. Let me walk you through a recap. I made the prototype, but it was annoying. It was bulky and the battery life was terrible. So I started walking around everywhere with a battery pack to test. But I couldn't tell if I didn't like it because of the inconvenience or because it was useless. I figured it had to be smaller. I could raise some money and hire some contractors to do this, but no, I can just learn this stuff myself. So I figured out how to use smaller chips and wire up what's essentially a computer from scratch. But that was really hard. I had to read through dozens of data sheets for components. I tested things didn't work. I had to go through several pages of internet forums to find solutions. I fried LCDs. Connecting one thing broke another thing. The wiring was finicky and broke often. Sometimes it just didn't work. Was the issue the components, the wiring, the soldering, the power, or the code? First, I had to get all of the components to work with each other, which was really annoying on a hardware level. And then I had to get the software to work with each other because none of these components wanted to work with each other. 2 buttons weren't enough to navigate this thing, so I added a scroll wheel. And one of the things you guys requested the most was music, so I added an MP3 player. And that was cool, but the earlier prototype, it kept breaking. And so I designed and ordered a PCB that I got shipped from China, so now I didn't have to rely on my own crappy wiring. And that should have been great, right? Like, we were 2 months in now, I had iterated, lots of progress, made it more useful, except then this last month, I hit the resistance. Now, the resistance manifests in many ways, and I feel like I basically went down the list and did all of them. Number 1, things stop being fun and playful and experimental. It becomes this big thing. And that's exactly what I did. Instead of continually iterating this PCB that I was working on, there were these many tiny things that I wanted to fix all at once. And so this last month, I went from knowing nothing about PCB design to trying to design the most complicated PCB I've ever made. Like over 100 components in a really small area. I had to deal with hundreds of data sheets and sourcing components and making sure that they're available and dealing with like EM stuff, all these intricacies about routing. And I had to start from scratch like 3 times. The first time took 2 weeks, the second time took like 1.5 weeks, and the third time I had learned so much and I was so locked in it took only 3 days. In a way, looking back, I'm almost impressed at myself, but I was also very stupid and impatient, which leads me to resistance number 2, like working stressfully. I would work straight for 3 days and then I would be completely burnt out for a couple of days. There was this one day I tried filming a day in the life video and I went and I sat in the cafe, worked, had lunch, went back to the cafe, worked. It was now 8 p.m. and all I had done the entire day is try and route PCBs. Number 3 was doubting the work. There are now 1,500 of you signed up. That's just from 1 video and 1 tweet. Haven't even been advertising the link because I got a bit doubtful. I was like, what exactly am I making? Like, should it be more of one thing? Was talking to potential investors, some were skeptical, that made me confused, and I'd experimented with so many different paths. It all got so heavy. Which path to pursue? Which one not to do? And then I think I had this valid fear, which is that, can you even make something that improves people's lives? I feel like there's a weird vibe in Silicon Valley where people try and make stuff actively addictive and bad, and everybody kind of agrees these things are societally bad and annoying and addictive, but those people, just because they got lots of user engagement, are called good product people. And so it's like, is that what I'm gonna have to do and make and become to make something that people actually use? I was worrying about getting the right visa to stay in the country, also about fundraising and how much do I fundraise and from who, and also I'm doing this all by myself and learning everything from scratch by myself. All of these thoughts were weighing me down so much, and ironically I was just using my phone way too much to dissociate, and a few days ago I just had enough. I took a pillow, put it on the ground, switched off my phone, and closed my eyes. That was like the longest I'd gone with all my devices off in a long time. Clearly I have a problem, this is why I'm making the thing I'm making. And then I woke up and the world seemed so beautiful. And I thought about how beautiful this last semester of mine has been and how all of the beautiful moments were away from devices and in the real world, with people, with friends, when reading a book, when paying attention to the world outside instead of these tiny black holes. Everyone wants to put technology in your face and make you constantly connected and stuff. We need to be able to make technology that fits into life, not detracts from it. But you know what? I've thought about it and I feel like maybe I'm just in over my head. This company thing, it's for people who know what they're doing. So I figured I'm just gonna give up, get a job and leave it to the people out there. Just kidding. I'm convinced what I want to see is not going to happen unless we do it. We're going to make computers fun and colorful again. Personal computers that aren't just these sucky distraction devices. Computers that keep you present and keep you happy. So go to our website and sign up. In 2 weeks, we're going to be dropping pre-order links. The goal is to start shipping next year. Oh, and I'm changing the name. And I found one that I like quite a bit.